Hello there, Relentless, and anyone else that might find this beneficial for themselves. This is Ski here. I just wanted to take a few minutes and go over the easy way to utilize the new playground feature that HotUtils has added to modding. Um, so as you're all familiar, if you have a HotUtils account, you're familiar with this page. If you're not, that's all right. You definitely want to consider getting this. So under mods, you'll notice that there's a playground function. If you go to playground, it is going to pull up all the tunes in your roster. Now there's two ways that I suggest that you can go through and mod your inventory very easily. I'll start with the first method because the first method is going to be the quickest, easiest, and probably what some of you will prefer. It's the least hassle. So what you're going to want to do is you're here. I have personally built the template within the guild as far as various stats that I have identified through research and some of my findings that are good to hit on certain tunes. And you can actually pull that template in and have this attempt to hit those stats based off your mods. It's up to you if you want to pull that or not. That template is fluid. It does change based off of updates and how things get modified in game, what changes there are. But if you want to go ahead and utilize that, you're going to go to the top here where it says template. You'll go here, you'll select import template. You're going to go under the Guardian of the Wheels Relentless, and you'll identify the squad template. Okay, there is one in here for Cam that I'm working on, and the Dooku Phase 4 special mission in Darkside Territory Battle. So what you do, you hit squad, and you hit import. Now it's going to bring you back here, and you can see it only is going to include the tunes that are on that template. Obviously, some tunes here, yeah, you might not want in here based off of their progression in your roster. Additionally, this is in tiered hierarchy. So the way that it's currently ordered is Resistance Hero Finn is going to get the best selection out of my mods. Bastila Fallen will get the rest of the pick out of the rest, except for what Finn got, so on and so forth. But here's what I'm going to do first, okay? I'm going to click Add All. What this is going to do is it's going to add in all of the rest of the tunes on your roster to this list, okay? Now, what you want to do for the next step here is, this is where the big difference comes in. Either you can go through manually and drag and drop these in the order that you would prefer. And if you do that, select save order, because what it's going to do then is it's going to, anytime you come back in here and you want to run it again, make an update, anything like that, all you have to do is hit restore order, and I will do it here in a moment for you to see. But it's a great way to kind of make this easy going forward. If you don't have the time for that and you don't want to put in the effort and you just want something quick, they have a feature here, auto prioritize. So if you select this right here, it's going to ask you how you want it, what you want to focus. Do you want to focus PvP, PvE, essentially? Now, it is pulled from another Patreon that works with HotUtils. I'm going to run it so that you can see what it's going to do. It's a quick fix. It's quick, it's easy, it doesn't put a lot of thought, but I still feel you need to tweak it based off your own preference. So I'm going to hit OK. Now the thing is with this is it's going to take into account what your arena team is. It's going to take into account what your gear progression is on various tunes, the meta analysis, so on and so forth. And it's going to automatically sort these based off of that priority that it comes up with. Now keep in mind, I do feel that this is a couple weeks out of date, because as you can see, it's got Darth Vader, Watt, Thrawn up near the top, and that's because prior to the nerf, those were the best way to counter Galactic Legends. That's not the case anymore. What I would suggest doing is, if you don't know where to start, auto prioritize. From there, shift things around. Shift things how you like them. where you want them. Maybe you have a team that you like using a lot more, so maybe you're partial to your Imperial troopers and not as much to your Sith Empire. So maybe, obviously Darth Raven, Basilisk, Sean Fallen typically want to be fast. Maybe you rather your Imp troopers be faster just because you like them better. Do it how you want to do it. Okay. The other way to do it is, so that's, you can do it auto priority, or you can manually do it. I'm going to show you my order here real quick. Based off my roster, the way I use my tunes, the way I kind of feel things are, this is how I have my roster prioritized. Now, one thing I do want to mention, I might have forgotten to, when you do open this screen up, you're going to see there's an advanced or basic. I should have started with this sooner. Advanced, it's going to look like this. All right. It's going to show you what mods you currently have on the tune with their stats. Basic is a much friendlier view. Okay. So now that we're right here and we kind of have an order for our tunes, okay, you're going to be able to do a couple things here. If you have tunes, this is right now is assuming I want to put mods on every single character on my roster that can carry mods. That's not the case. I don't want that. So if you don't want to mod certain tunes just because maybe you don't want to inflate your GP or whatever it might be, all you have to do is uncheck them and they will disappear. So you can sit here and do this, and what that means is these characters will not get mods when you run through this. I think that's important to note because some people don't want to needlessly inflate their roster or whatever it might be. For me, I figure you want to keep some mods on some tunes, so on and so forth. So the next thing that I'll point out is you see that this little box here on the bottom right of your character portrait. So because we imported a template that has stat targets to hit, what this is going to do is it's going to highlight in green if based off the mods that are on the character, we have hit those targets. Red means we have not. Okay. And what you can do is you can go through and adjust some things, but I'll show you that right after here in a moment. So once you find that you got an order that you like and that you want to do, next step to do is hit automate. When you do automate, you want to keep these checked up here. Personal preference on breaking mod sets. I don't like to, you might. The rest of these are kind of self-explanatory. Simulate mods as 60. What this will do is it'll allow you to set a speed secondary that it will simulate as if that mod was a 6-dot mod, if it will get you to your stats. I don't want to bother with that. Auto reorder, I don't want it to change my order. Smooth speed, all that means is rather than giving your character a plus 28 speed secondary and a plus 12 to hit a speed target that you're trying to hit, what it will do is it'll try to identify a plus 20, plus 20, plus 20, plus 20. It'll try to match all the secondary speeds on all your mods. Don't bother with that. If the template that you have imported you want to try to hit, you're going to want this next one checked off, attempt desired targets, and you're going to want to use derived requirements for the rest. All right, this right here, this is going to default to 200,000. I upped it just because I want it to run through more. That's personal preference. When you're good, hit OK. It is then going to go through and start trying to find mods for all of these. Okay, I'm not going to do it because this is probably going to take anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, maybe a little bit longer depending on your mod inventory quality, so on and so forth. I'm going to hit stop. Once it's done doing that, all right, you can do one of two things. If you just want to trust that where it's at is going to be good, go to save up here, name your loadout. These are all the characters that are included in it, and then you'll hit save. And what that will do is that will actually push a loadout to in here for you, and then you could just load it and you're good to go. If you want, what I do recommend doing instead is go to review. Take a look at what it's suggesting to put onto the characters for mods and what the targets are. It will, if you hover over some of these, it will tell you based off the template what the requirements are. So part of the template, I have Jedi Master Kenobi, we want him over 550 speed. This will, because that's right there, it's showing you that. Same thing, physical damage over 10.5, there it is. All right. If there's a stat that you do not like, Okay, we're gonna go into my Commander Ahsoka Tano right here, and we're gonna look at it. All right, so clicking on this, it's gonna show me what I have for her mods on her. It's gonna show me his stats, and it's gonna show me the stat that I'm missing. Okay, her physical damage is a little bit low. All right, I think that this is a stat personally that we might be modifying. Not entirely sure yet. If you go to targets, this will show you what the targets are for this character. So you can go up here to definition, and you can do a couple different things. If you feel comfortable and you're used to Grand Ivory, you can go through and change these up and play around the stat weights and rerun the automation. It'll take a little bit of time. You can modify some of the required stats in here if you want. You can add your own required stat targets. You can force a certain primary on one of these mods right here, should you so choose, or you can force a specific set. Okay. Once you have kind of played around with this however way you want, let's say I just want to up her the weight on her physical damage, whatever it is, you'll see up here changes to red. If I want to save it, I hit the check mark and I'm good to go. So so then you just run through that however many times you want, hit automate, review, save it, load it, good to go. If you have questions on this, feel free to message me. I just wanted to give you guys just a quick reference of how to use this playground and why it's beneficial. Definitely hit me up. All right, guys, take it easy.